Hello again, everybody. I'd like to respond to some of the comments that's been made on my channel. I'm not very computer savvy, so I really don't know how to upload, download, or middle road, or whatever kind of road. Middle of the road. I've never been middle of the bloody road. Arthur Scargill used to say, trouble with the middle of the road is you're liable to get knocked down. But I haven't even started yet, and I'm interrupting myself. I'd like to thank some of the nice people. Revolutionary 88. Did you notice, of course, that if you turn 88 upside down, you get 88? Not much of a revolution there. But thank you for your very kind comments. They were much appreciated. And I'd like to thank Ignacio Salmon, Ignacio Salmon, for his rebroadcasts of some of the Galloway show which I'm on. I'd like to thank the Couch Tripper, who's been very, very kind and very nice. There's been one or two nasty people, usually very right-wing. They tend to be nasty people, right-wingers, don't they? I think it's a personality flaw myself, but they resort to personal attacks and stupid. I mean, the man called me a thief and alcoholic and all the things I had told him, you know. I mean, say, come on, Jimmy, you know, screw the bobbin. And there was a man asked me, very astutely asked me, about the AA, what seemed like him to a contradiction, I suppose, about my getting sober in AA, but having no bad words to say about cannabis. And I went to AA to stop drinking, basically, and that's the only criterion there is for being in AA, is a desire to stop thinking. I disagreed. I was free of cannabis for a couple of years, but when I did have a slip, as they say, nothing terrible happened. I didn't start drinking, and it didn't lead me to anything. In fact, if anything, it's kept me away from more dangerous drugs. I don't advocate the smoking of cannabis. I just think it's quite ridiculous that it should be treated as a crime to want to get stoned. I mean, you don't intend harming anybody. George Galloway would say you do harm other people becoming involved in crime, but that would apply to tobacco too. If you may recall that advert, a young girl crying for her father who had lung cancer. So these, everything has a secondary and third effect, but to jail someone, which you can do for cannabis for up to 5 years, for something which has no direct effect on anybody else, and hasn't killed you or harmed you, and it was considered okay, and for most of the 20th century, up until 1970, I believe, you could get cannabis linctus from doctors. Queen Victoria used cannabis. I'll bet she was amused then, mind you. And it's because it's exotic, I think. It has this foreign sort of flavour about it, marijuana, you know, and all the rest of it. But it's a mild hallucinogenic. It's not a painkiller, or, you know, if you had toothache and you took cannabis, you'd feel a damn sight worse. So it doesn't solve problems in the way that alcohol and heroin and any of these other drugs do. And except for tobacco. Tobacco is the most negative addiction of them all. It does nothing. You don't get drunk, you don't get stoned, you don't get high, you don't get anything. What else now? Samson mentioned about crème passionnelle. He was right. I should have used a different phrase, because crème passionnelle means in the French sense to kill your wife's lover or whatever, which he maintained could be property. But the kind of crime, I should have used the words passionate crime, like the 3 lads who stabbed another lad, Ben, in London a few weeks ago. There was no acquisitive. You could say tribalism, because 3 of them were black. It was one tribe against the other, the haves against the have-nots, or the have-nots against the haves. You could argue that, but it's a pretty tenuous link. People do kill for and commit crimes for non-acquisitive reasons occasionally. They most often do because of property and who owns what, and the same applies to wars. Almost all wars in fact, they might dress it up as religion, like the struggle between the Catholics and the Protestants in Northern Ireland, but they weren't arguing about biblical interpretation, papal infallibility, or the life of Jesus Christ. They were arguing about economic groups, about working class versus ruling class. I know there are plenty of working class Protestants, but the ruling class in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, are essentially Protestants and not of Irish extraction. They're part of the settlers. They're settlers from Scotland mainly and from England. I think I've covered everybody there. If I haven't, I apologise to the people I've left out, and I'll say something to them next time. But thank you for all your responses, even the insulting ones, which help me prove my case. In actual fact, they only damage their own cause when they start calling you the C word and communist C and all this stupid old man and this kind of thing. You know, they only help my cause and damage their own. So carry on, you right-wing fascist pigs. I don't mind. See you for now.